Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel, Signing with Omar. This video is part 2 of religious signs. Are you ready? Let's get started. Now the first sign we're going to do is the sign Blaspheme. Let me show you that from the side. To sign Blaspheme, simply take your dominant hand and form a fist, but leave it slightly open. Now with this, bring this right there towards the mouth, and then with one motion, you're going to move the hand up and away from the mouth, and then form the S. That is how you sign Blaspheme. The next sign I'm going to show you is condemnation. Now there are several ways of signing this. I will show you two. The first, now to sign this, I actually took my non-dominant hand, extend that out in front of the body with the fingers spread apart and the palm facing the side. With your dominant hand, extend out the index finger, and with this finger, you're actually going to trace an exaggerated or a very large X on the palm of the non-dominant hand. See if I can show you from the side. That is the first way I sign condemnation. Now the next way I'm going to sign condemnation is devil punishment. Let me show you again. Devil punishment. Now to sign this, simply take your dominant hand, extend out the thumb, the index finger, and the middle finger. And right there, bring this by the temple of the head. And from here, bend these three fingers almost like a hook, coming back towards you like this, and then take your non-dominant hand, extend that out in front of the body. You can either form a fist or you can leave the fingers out. Now with your dominant hand, the index fingers extended, it will tap or brace against the elbow of the non-dominant hand. So let me show you what that looks like all together. Devil punishment. Now, so let me show you both signs. The first and the second. That is how I sign condemnation. The next sign I'm going to show you is consecrate. To sign consecrate, simply do the first sign, which will be promise. Take your index finger of your dominant hand, bring that towards the mouth. With your non-dominant hand, form an S on the side. Now from here, bring your index to the mouth, and then from here, open up the hand going towards the fist of the non-dominant hand, and it will strike up against the non-dominant fist. That is for the sign promise. Now the next thing you're going to do are going to involve classifiers. You're going to simply take your index finger of your dominant hand. This is going to represent God. Now with your non-dominant hand, extend out the index finger, and with here, you're going to come closer, representing that I am drawing closer to God. So let me show you what that whole sign looks like all together. That is how I sign consecrate. Now for the sign conviction. Now to sign conviction, we know conviction comes from God, and it's when we've done something wrong and we feel guilty about it. So to sign this, you'll do the sign tend, and to sign tend, you'll take your middle finger, flex it downward, bring this middle finger right on the heart, and from here, bring it away. Tend. Now for the second part, guilt. Simply form the letter G on its side, bring that right up against the heart, like this. Now let me show you what that whole sign looks like all together. That is how I sign conviction. Now for the sign forsaken. There are several ways that I sign this. The first is the same as ignore. Now to sign this, simply take your dominant hand, I extend out four of my fingers, and I actually flex inward my thumb. With this, I actually now take my index finger, place it up against the nose, and then I actually bring it away from the nose twice. Then from here, I make sure that my facial expression matches that I don't want to have anything to do with you. That is the first way I sign forsaken. Now the other way I sign forsaken, as if I am casting something away. Now to sign this, I simply take both hands. You can either form S's or you can actually do C's. And then from here, I will pretend as if I'm throwing something away towards the side. That is how I sign forsaken. For the sign grace, you've probably seen it done like this out in the deaf community. But I've seen it done recently in such a beautiful way, I begin to adopt it for myself. And so how I do it now is I simply take my dominant hand, form the letter G, do the same circular rotation over there by the side of the head, like this, and then come together your hands over the heart, indicating love. Now we know that grace is God's unmerited love or favor towards mankind. And so I'm showing that by incorporating this part in the sign. So let me show you that sign all together. One more time. That is how I sign grace. Intercessory prayer. Now, to sign intercessory prayer, we know that intercessory prayer is a deep prayer that God himself invites you to enter in. So to sign this, I actually do the sign for pray. And then from here, I'll do the sign for deep down. And to sign that second portion, you actually take your non-dominant hand, extend it out in front of the body with the palm facing down. With your index finger of your dominant hand, it will go down in between the thumb and the index finger. So let me show you what that whole sign looks like all together. That is how I sign intercessory prayer. For the sign Pharisee. To sign Pharisee, simply take both hands and form P's. Now from here, you'll take the middle finger, place that up against the chest like this, and then from here, go apart and down. That is how I sign Pharisee. Sanctify or sanctification. Now we know when we use that term sanctified or sanctification, it is a process, and from there you're separating from worldly things. So to sign sanctification, you'll first do the sign process, and then from here you will do the sign for separate. Now, to do the sign for separate, simply take both hands, extend them out in front of the body, flex the fingers towards the palms, bring them actually together like this, and then begin to separate them. So let me show you what that whole sign looks like all together. That is how I sign sanctify or sanctification. Stronghold. Now there is a plethora of ways of signing this. I will show you two. The first is going to be devil control, and the second is going to be mind bound. So let me show you the first. I've already showed you how to sign devil. Now to sign control, you simply take both hands, bring them out in front of the body. Now to make it easy, form fists, but now extend out your index fingers and then flex them like hooks. And then from here, you will alternate back and forth. So let me show you what that whole sign looks like all together. That is the first way of signing it. Now, the second way of signing stronghold is mind bound. Now, you simply take your dominant index finger, touch the temple, showing that this is the mind. And then to show bound, simply take both hands, form fists. I actually take my non-dominant hand. It's going to be below my dominant hand. So bring your non-dominant hand out, then take your dominant hand and bring that right on top of the non-dominant. It would be the wrist. So let me show you what that looks like all together. Mind bound. That is how I sign stronghold. Now these are a few of my religious signs. I hope you've learned something from this video. If you did, do me a favor, hit that like button. Next, hit that subscribe button. And last but not least, hit that notification button and stay tuned for my next ASL video.